we have to discuss the spiritual vision that is present in the heart. GCLP, Codified Cardio-Linguistic Program, will give you something related to your heart. Spiritual vision is related to your heart. The facial vision is related to the eyes that are present on your face. So the development of the spiritual vision requires the persistent building of some new organs of energy reception. You have to develop some new techniques, new organs for energy reception, because whatever is present in the physical body is not sufficient for spiritual reception. We all have heart, the muscular heart. We all have liver full of hepatocytes. We have brain, alhamdulillah, full of neurons. We have a stomach full of smooth muscles. We have bones full of osteocytes and osteoclasts. But none of our organ is able to appreciate anything at a spiritual level. No signals. Because these organs are not designed for spiritual reception. Like this instrument is not designed to receive a call signal, but this instrument is designed to receive the signals of the voice, some specialized type of electromagnetic. But these both are electrical instruments, but the configuration and objectivity is totally different. So if we are interested for spiritual vision, we have to develop a new organs and persistent building. It's not a T20 game that will finish in 20 overs. So this is the cardiac eye is the first essential member of this category. This is the first member of this specialized type of category. So these, because your objective is to experience the spirituality, your objective is to experience the metaphysical items. So the new organs are also or must not be physical. It should be metaphysical. Nevertheless, they are equally real and tangible. Once they are fully developed, the perceptions, the enhanced spiritual perception. If you remember, I stressed on this term because the first term that we are going to practice is the enhanced spiritual perception. So once we are able to develop the cardiac eye, the new organ of spiritual sensitivity, the perception, the enhanced extrasensory perception or enhanced spiritual perception that is coming through your cardiac eye would be much clearer, sharper and more substantial. It will carry the more substantial information than those information that are coming through your physical senses. SRT, self-regulatory technique. GCLP is SRT. If you will search SRT on Google, you will find dozens of SRTs available. So a GCLP is basically categorized under SRT. So basically different SRTs are present for different objects with different objectivity. It is a methodical cultivation, but what we are describing and what we are discussing is a SRT that will cultivate a series of new organs of spiritual energy reception, because spirit is there. So this ESP. So the GCLP approach, different SRTs have different approaches. I am not going to discuss those different SRTs, but my topic of discussion is GCLP. So GCLP is basically based on the superiority of the spiritual experience over mental concepts under divine directives. What is the pre-qualification of this kind of spiritual training? Nothing. No previous spiritual training or education is required. Nothing like this. All are welcome. But since you are going inside, I would make a small request. For the time being, forget all that you have already, the stuff that is already known to you. Forget everything for time being. And just involve in GCLP. As if you have no insight, you have no prior information of anything, with fresh awareness, and don't compare your previous knowledge with GCLP practices. Otherwise, your mind will start shouting if you will start comparing the two informations, because the present GCLP SRTs are related to material plane, and this is the spiritual SRT. There is no comparison. There is no if your mind is trying to compare both SRTs, it will destroy your mind. So please don't compare. So what are the aims of this SRT? Not to develop the fuzzy, primitive psychic power of trance medium psychics like other SRTs. It is very much different from psychic SRTs. Nothing to do with psychology. Nothing to do with any psychological trance medium psychics. But it is a step forward towards the vision of self and self-spirit. Even though during GCLP, now we are going towards the deeper meanings of GCLP. Even though during GCLP, you will experience numerous extrasensory perceptions. The objective is clear, that you have to find yourself and self-spirit, and to learn to see the world from the self, instead of seeing it from your normal mental consciousness. This program is meant basically for your connection with the reality, truth and Almighty and spiritual realities, and you will end up with new form of consciousness. Because I told you in the beginning, when I was describing the 4 basic laws, you have to come out from your the fancy items that are already present in your conditioned mind. You have to leave those ideas. It is a very common question: if I become the GCLP practitioner, what will happen with my daily life? We all are present of physical world. This training program will not withdraw you from your daily activities. Nothing will happen in your daily activities. You will not be sitting in a dark room No. But the spiritual seeker and the pacer will start performing well in the present world with a novel spiritual awareness, vision, confidence, efficacy, pleasantly, and with a high chance of success. If you become a spiritual seeker, if you become a spiritual pacer, it means you have a good insight. Your mind would be more logical. In all your ways, know Him. So, this is very important to note that GCLP is not based on creative imagination, positive affirmations, hypnosis or auto-suggestions. These things are part of NLP like SRTs. So, make this point clear that we are not going to give you anything that will create imagination or positive affirmations or hypnosis or auto-suggestions. No, nothing to do with GCLP practice. These are totally different brand. But GCLP will provide you the direct awakening of spiritual energy system. And this, how this thing is going to happen? Through the techniques, you will start working on your inner instincts, your own intuitions, your inner esoteric powers and spiritual process. So, during this process, we will give you some experimental or experiential things and some theoretical knowledge. Right now, I am just giving the overview, but if you will not learn this, you will not end up with experience. And of course, spiritual consciousness and mysteries of the human nature with a special focus on transformation and inner alchemy. You will pass through a specialized type of transformation and a process of alchemy and desirable therapeutic inner balance. So, what is this spiritual alchemy? The art of raising the level of vibration of matter, and this inner alchemy therefore means of spiritual development in which ultimate purpose is not to destroy any connection with the manifested world and dissolve oneself, but to establish a bridge between the riches of the spiritual self and divine order that can be permanently experienced even while living in the physical world. This is very important. You will continue your life as before. If a house lady is learning something, or the professional lady or professional person or a student, he will continue in his field, respective field. It doesn't mean that a day would come, he would be sitting in the cave and will be doing something special. So, यहाँ तक जो बात है ये पूरी हुई, और इसमें जो चीज़ है कि स्पिरिचुअल आई जब आपकी खुलती है, इसमें जो चीज़ हमने बताने की कोशिश की, आपकी जो स्पिरिचुअल आई जब खुलती है, क्योंकि सारा जो सफ़र है वो आपके दिल से शुरू होगा. अगर इंसान का दिल मुर्दा है तो सब कुछ मुर्दा है, और दिल ज़िंदा है तो सब कुछ ज़िंदा है. और ये दिल आपका ऐसा है कि ये आपके अंदर की एक एक चीज़ को चेंज कर देगा. अच्छा, ये चीज़ें बड़ी अजीब सी लगती हैं, बचपन से सुनते थे, बचपन से समझ में नहीं आती थी और अभी तक माशाल्लाह समझ में नहीं आती, ठीक है ना. अच्छा, हम ये कहते हैं कि जी वो ठीक है, बातें तो सारी अच्छी अच्छी हैं, लेकिन दिल कैसे खुलेगा? दिल बंद कब था? दिल की चाबियां किसके पास हैं? ताले कहाँ लगे हुए हैं? तो कहीं तो ताले लगे हुए हैं, और उन तालों को कैसे खोला जाएगा, इसकी बाकायदा एक साइंस है. अच्छा, अब मैं इस बात पे बिल्कुल नहीं जा रहा इस वक्त कि इसमें क्या साइंस है. लेकिन जैसे मैंने कहा कि हम थियोरिटिकल नॉलेज भी देंगे और प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज भी देंगे इंशाल्लाह। थियोरिटिकल नॉलेज ये होगी कि साइंस हार्ट को एज अ सेंसरी ऑर्गन मानने लगी है। साइंस अब ये कहती है कि इसके अंदर से इतना ऑक्सीटोसिन रिलीज होता है। ऑक्सीटोसिन इज द हार्मोन ऑफ द लव। और आपको पता है कि जब अ लेडी हु इज गिविंग अ बर्थ टू अ चाइल्ड, तो ऑक्सीटोसिन की सर्ज आती है, ऑक्सीटोसिन की सर्ज आती है। उसकी वजह से वो जो है ना, वो यूट्रस जो है ना वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करती है और चाइल्ड की बर्थ होती है। इट इज द एक्सट्रीम लेवल ऑफ लव ऑफ द मदर कि वो एक ऐसी चीज को एक्टिवेट करती है जो एक्चुअली पेनफुल है, लेकिन बिकॉज ऑफ द लव ऑफ समथिंग दैट इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द वूम, वो उस पेन को एक्टिवेट करती है। तो वो ऑक्सीटोसिन जो है, इट इज कॉल्ड द स्पेसिफिक हार्मोन ऑफ द लव, क्योंकि ये एक अजीब लव है। इतना पेन लव के अंदर तो देयर इज, इफ एक आम आदमी लव को सोचे तो लव में तो कोई पेन ही नहीं होता, उसमें तो प्लेजर होता है। लेकिन चाइल्ड बर्थ के अंदर ये किस किस्म का लव अल्लाह ताला ने रखा है, और माँ उस लव से गुजरती है, उसको एक्सपीरियंस करती है विद द एक्सट्रीम डिग्री ऑफ पेन एंड एगनी। ये बात समझ में आ रही है? तो अब अल्लाह ताला ने वही, साइंस क्या बता रही है, वो ऑक्सीटोसिन सबसे ज्यादा, अच्छा चाइल्ड बर्थ के प्रोसेस में ये निकलता है पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड से, ब्रेन से निकलता है। ब्रेन के अंदर एक ग्लैंड है पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड, वहां से निकलता है। लेकिन ये तो उसी वक्त निकलता है जब चाइल्ड बर्थ हो रही होती है। अच्छा मेल्स के तो निकलता भी नहीं है, क्योंकि हमारे पास तो ये सहूलत ही नहीं है, ये जिम्मेदारी नहीं है। लेकिन अल्लाह ताला का निज़ाम एक अजीब है। साइंस ने अब डिस्कवर किया कि सबसे ज़्यादा ऑक्सीटोसिन हार्ट से निकलता है। साइंस ने अब डिस्कवर किया पिछले 10-15 साल में, और कंटिन्यूसली निकलता है। अब आप बताइए। तो अभी मैं आपको साइंस की चीज़ों पर बोर नहीं करना चाह रहा, लेकिन ये सब कुछ जो चीज़ें मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये आगे थोड़ा जब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे इस कोर्स में तो ये चीज़ें मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूँगा इंशाल्लाह। ये चल रहा है? So now what are the basic practical principles and the methods of GCLP? The most important thing and rather interesting, but it might be equally boring if you are not connected. Do not force. Whenever you are trying to become a spiritual pacer, do not force. Please do not force. This is very important. And do not exert. Do not focus. No focus is required. Just be aware of the truth. This is the first important message. This is the first skill that you have to acquire. If you want to become a spiritual pacer, no force, no exertion, no focus is required. Just be aware about the existence of truth and reality. This is what is required. The most vital drive of GCLP training program is to be more. It is commonly heard and said that human beings are only using a small fraction of their potential. It's true. Present day, most of our lives are confined with a limited range of thought, emotions, sensations, conscious existence. Very limited. We have a very limited frame of love and affection, pleasure, emotional. It is very easy for us to be upset on something. On very tiny things, we are easily get irritation. So, in most of the cases, we remain completely unaware what thing is happening inside us. There is a myth about the Plato. It is called Plato's myth of the cave. It was formulated 24 centuries ago, and still to date it is equally relevant. He said, if you have always lived inside a dark cellar, to you this small cell is not a cell, but it is the whole universe for you. You will never conceive what wonders are waiting outside this cave for you, outside this cell. The only thing you will only enjoy the life and the wonders of the life when you will decide to step out from the cell. So same thing is happening with us. We are limiting with, we all are in our own frames. Coconut myth. This is another myth, quite interesting. Coconut is considered to be deep symbolic significance because of its 3 eyes. 2 of the 3 eyes of the coconut is blind. It means you cannot step to reach the milk. But it's the 3rd eye which is in the middle. The moment you will step the 3rd eye, you will reach to the milk of the fruit. Similarly, the cardiac eye is the eye that will connect you with your own inner, and you will enjoy the milk of the nature and love and affection. So basically we are living with the 2 blind eyes. So this is called nigah, cardiac eye nigah. This is nazar. The cardiac eye is nigah. Nigah is the enhanced spiritual perception. Nigah. Nigah sees beyond the wall. The nazar sees what is present inside the room. So the 3rd point, opening of the cardiac eye, activation of the inner energy. So how can we open the cardiac eye? Now, right now, I think you are able to understand the importance and the value of cardiac eye and why the opening is required. You have to discover your essential values. If you remember, in the core subjects, in the 5th level I discussed philosophy first, psychology, then science, then spirituality, and then ethics. And ethics means moral and values. ठीक है? This is very important. So unless we are able to discover the essential values, the values of truth, whatever is true, whatever is real, values can be falsified. Both the sets are available. The evil values and the divine values, both are available. So it is basically quite simple, as I told you, but it's not easy. It's very simple. Work on your essential values. If you are interested to open your cardiac eye, work on your essential values. It's very simple. If your heart is running to open the cardiac eye, and if you are not working on your essential values, nothing will happen. And if you are working on the essential values, it looks very simple, but it's not easy. If someone who is dishonest, if someone who is liar, if someone who is doing not the justice, Huh? So it's very difficult. It's very difficult. But the only thing, it does not require complex theories. I am not going to bore you on the complex theories of values. It's very simple. It's straight mathematics. If you want to become the cardiac pacer, spiritual seeker, the formula of success lies how essentially you are able to develop your true values. Before starting the first technique, we are heading towards some techniques also, some drills. You should not be confused. Be relaxed. Be relaxed. We are heading towards the climax. Don't confuse. It's very simple, very easy. As I told you, do not exert, do not focus, do not force yourself. And you are not supposed to be confused person.